Hey yo guys, it's time for the TNA Genesis pay-per-view review. Gotta say, it was a strong showing by TNA, but you know, your opener was pretty weak and your main event was pretty weak, and I'll get to those in a minute. So anyways, the opener, which was the Shop of Horrors match, which was Black Rain versus Abyss, didn't really like this being your opener. I kind of did state this in the video, but after all, I did regret it being the opener. I think now this should be either where they have been putting them towards the end, like the last match or the second to last match, or maybe the fourth match, just because to get the crowd has to get into a few matches. This can't be your first match to get into them. Other than that, I mean, I will give Black Rain a few props for taking the chokeslam off the stage just on straight up concrete, no padding, no cardboard for a change, just straight up concrete. Match was kind of weird. It was your typical hardcore match. I mean, you know, they start out brawling in the aisle, and they go in typical TNA hardcore brawl in the crowd, and then, you know, then it got just weird where Black Rain's hand got put in a vice by Abyss. Abyss tried to kill the Rat. James Mitchell comes out. He gets Rain's hand out of the vice. Abyss puts the Rat down Mitchell's jacket, and that was whatever. And then there was a pedigree to Abyss on some mouse traps. I will say that was a nice spot. I gotta say that. I did mind that. But then, you know, Abyss gets the win with a black hole slam on no tacks or glass, which was pretty surprising. But then after the match, during the match, they tried to put Abyss into this like outhouse type thing, but you know they didn't. And then after the match, the Key tried to put him in there, but out comes this thing from like God of War 2 who blows mist into Abyss's eyes, and then he and Black Rain, and by the way, that guy was Johnny the Bull Stamboli, they beat down Abyss, and then they put him in the outhouse type thing and push it off like the New Age Outlaws did to Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie back in the WWF in '98. And that really did nothing, because after that they just straight up cut away to a backstage promo. So this is like a 1.5 star match. I mean, you did have two nice spots, and you know, they tried. But it was just your typical hardcore match, so So I was like, ooh, this pay-per-view could get off slow. Team 3D versus the Motor City Machine Guns next. I really like this match. I like how these two teams work together. You know, there's not much to say in the match other than the finish, which I'll just get to say. But I really like how these teams work together, and hopefully this feud continues. And I think it will. Obviously it will. Anyways, the finish was Team 3D set up a table in the corner, and they sent Sabin in for a ride. Sabin then walked up the table. You gotta see this finish. He walked up the table, stood there. Devon charged. He sideswiped Devon. Devon went right into the table, and then Shelly and Sabin hit the double enziguris on Bubba for the win. A very nice finish, and they won cleanly, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, they won cleanly! That's huge." A great match. Really like how these teams work together. Then we have the knockout title match. It was an okay women's match. If you missed it, whatever. But you know, it was an okay women's match. Weird part, the referee kicks VKM out, and then Roxy Laveau tried to put some voodoo curse on the referee. But there was some nice spots in here, and it was the start of the drinking vignettes because ODB came down with a flask. ODB came out, and one of the big parts I thought for sure was, I honestly thought it was gonna happen, was ODB ramming Laveau's head into a turnbuckle. Anyways, came with a nice crossbody to Roxy Laveau on the floor, and a nice DDT by Williams. That's pretty much what she did. And ODB had this spanking fetish where she'd spank Angel Williams. She'd even spank the ref. Laveau and ODB and Williams did a Tower of Doom spot. Laveau powerbomb ODB, and ODB like cross overhead through her, or sack of shit as Hall called it. There was a nice leg drop on Laveau, and the finish was, there was mist blown into ODB's eyes by Laveau, and Gail Kim speared Laveau for the win, or gave her a cross neck breaker for the win, and Awesome Kong came out. We thought something could happen, but nothing really happened. Then we had a good segment with Karen Angle, because she thought partners in this limo, but it turned out to be James Storm and Eric Young having a drinking contest, and James Storm considered himself the world beer drinking heavyweight champion of the world, and he had his own little title belt that was a spinner belt. That was kind of funny. Then we had the Guru Sanjay Dutt and Black Machismo Jay Lethal for the TNA X Division title. Great match here. Good match here. Dutt hit a flip, then I like how Lethal got out a cartwheel, threw an arm drag, and gave Dutt a drop kick. Nice flip dive by Dutt. Dutt flip, then standing moonsault, springboard moonsault by Lethal. Very nice. My favorite part of this match was Dutt went for a moonsault off the top rope. Lethal rolled out of the way. Dutt landed on his feet and then hit the moonsault. Very nice. But Lethal gets the win with a lethal combination and the big elbow off the top. After the match, Lethal brings SoCal Val in because she's going to be the new Miss Elizabeth. And, you know, Dutt with the pedals and all. And then Team 3D come out and they give 3Ds to both Dutt and Lethal. And we think they're going to attack SoCal Val, what they don't. And then they take the X Division title hostage. And, you know, I like where this is going. And I like how they just did your typical heel thing where they pretty much said that they did not lose to the Motor City Machine Guns. The TNA tag title match. It is what you get. This is probably the best match the Steiners have given us in some time. This is probably the best match Rick Steiner has had in particular. Nothing much really other than the finish where the ref Styles low-blowed Rick, hit him in the head with a chair and got the 3 count. Then moving on, Robert Roode with Miss Brooks versus Samoa Joe. A good match here. I liked how they worked together. I didn't like how Joe tripped on the guard start. That kind of made me a little... Joe, ooh, that's going on Botchamania. I guarantee that will go on Botchamania. And one of my favorite parts of like any Joe match now is someone will go for a slingshot and he just completely hits the pads and Joe just like, what are you thinking? I love that spot. Roode hit a nice blockbuster. But during this match, good thing in this match was Roode went for like a shoulder tackle off the top rope and Joe ace crusher. Very nice. Weird part in this match, Miss Brooks just legitly passed out and they couldn't revive her. It took TNA's training staff and Earl Hebner to get her up. But it was reported that she was fine and okay. And a little side note, in the opener, that weird dude was Johnny the Bull Stamboli. Anyways, the Olay spot, I like that, where Joe went for the Olay and he just Roode caught him and the guardrail. And the finish to this one was Joe blocked the payoff, put him on top, and hit him with the Muscle Buster for the 3 count. And then we have the Fight for the Right ladder match. Before the match, Cage says that he doesn't want to see Tomko and Styles out there. And Styles pretty much says he's the leader tonight and they're going to go out there. Big spot at the start of this one was Kaz did a springboard crossbody onto Cage, who was holding the ladder. The ladder caught right in the eye, almost like you'd see in a boxing fight or an MMA fight. Very nice. Cage catapulted Kaz into the ladder, which was placed in the middle rope. And then Kaz, with his big spot of the night, where he was atop of a ladder, went for a guillotine leg drop on Cage, who was on top of another ladder, and he just hit the ladder so hard. I thought he broke his leg. Then out come Styles and Tomko, and we all distracted. The ladder sways. Cage goes over the top, hits Tomko and Styles. Kaz uses the rope to spring in, and he gets the contract, which, by the way, it did fall off after Kaz went for a springboard dropkick on the ladder, and all the papers fell down, so they made him go for the clipboard, which I found kind of stupid. Didn't like that at all. They could have called an audible and have Kaz just grab the paper and just run away. It would have been very smart and very almost like when the kids stole Razor's money on Monday Night Raw. Could have done that and it would have been a bit better, but you know, you're going to definitely get stars knocked off because of that. But hey, Kaz got the win in this one. Very surprising. We're probably going to get a match like on Impact where Kaz versus Angle, like last year's Lethal versus Jarrett. And then the main event was the tag for the title, the TNA World Heavyweight title match. Kurt Angle and Kevin Nash versus Sting and the mystery partner, and that mystery partner was Booker T. Yep, Booker T made his TNA debut. He got a thunderous ovation, and then a very weird part was after Booker made his entrance, they did a pan on a sign that says, "I knew it was Booker T," and I just bust out laughing. I mean, why would you have that sign there, and why would you just pan on it? I knew it was Booker T. Ooh, didn't like that. But overall, Booker's debut really couldn't save it. This was a terrible match, another slow, stale match. I really didn't like this match at all. Weird, like, Kurt Angle and Sharmell brawled. Sharmell also made her debut. Styles botched a springboard. He tried to springboard in to get Sting, but Tomko kind of covered his ass with the clothesline. Nash had to wait forever to hit the jag, wait for Angle to come hit him with the belt. He was waiting for maybe a minute just for Angle to get in there. Angle should have been right there, but Styles passed Angle the belt. He clocked Nash, and then he hit the Angle slam on Sting for the win. Overall, this pay-per-view was decent. This is a 7.92, 8 pay-per-view. Other than your opener and your main event, which were just both terrible. I would recommend getting this DVD and when it comes out. Anyways, guys, I'm out. I'll hit you later. Peace.